Lexington Candy Shop has been here since 1925, 84 years. It was started by my grandfather as an immigrant from Greece, and then my father came here in 1930 and carried on the business with his father. Up until 1948, we used to make our own chocolates and other candies in the basement. It wasn't as profitable as it could be, or with the revenue and stuff, and they decided to eliminate that end of the business and focus more on the soda fountain, luncheonette, food items. Well, we've kept things the same since 1948, basically because we realize we're unique, and people love this stuff. And they come in and they've read about places like this, whether they're the European tourists, American tourists, or people who grew up in the boroughs of New York, and we used to have a place like this all the time. Every other block in the neighborhood, I used to go down to buy the paper, ice cream cone. Haven't seen a place like this in years. It's a destination. It's a great place to come and say, you know what, it's worth the trip. Because the quality of the food, the items that we offer are getting harder and harder to find around New York. For example, we have egg creams. First of all, it's hard to find somebody who knows what an egg cream is and then to make it properly. There are very few places that make a fresh squeezed lemonade to order. You want a lemonade? I'm going to make it for you on the spot. I'm going to squeeze the lemon, mix it all together. I'm not going to push a button, and it comes out of a faucet. Coca-Cola, any of the sodas, we pump the syrup by hand and then mix it with seltzer with a spoon and create Coca-Cola for you, or Diet Coke or Sprite, just the way as it would have been done 1925, 1940. So, and our milkshakes and our malted, we use real malt powder. Nobody uses real malt powder nowadays. Very few people, and it's a real treat. It also brings back a lot of childhood memories for people. The most nostalgic machine that we have, that people just love when they see, is our milkshake mixer, our multi-mixer. It's that institutional green from the early 1940s, from where the machine is. We have been using the same machine for 69 years, making milkshakes and malteds. The urns that we make our coffee are from 1948. And they just don't make them like that anymore, and they make a good cup of coffee, and it stays a good cup of coffee. It doesn't get burned, and it's traditional American coffee. Keeping it a family business for so long, especially when it started, it was very easy. My grandfather came over, then he brought his son and another brother over, and they came into the business. And I grew up in the business. I started here when I was 13 years old, working on days off, weekends, time off from school. So I came here under the guise, at least I tried it for a year, 2 years. Well, 29 years later, I'm still here, and now my son is somewhat involved. He's tough job market, so he's here as part of the fourth generation, and we'll see what happens with him.
I started here off by pretty much just being born into the family. My father, my grandfather, my great-grandfather started it, so ever since I could pretty much reach the counter, I literally was working here, and it's been a part of my life. I would say since like 8 or 9. My favorite item on the menu would probably be a milkshake, or when I'm cooking, because I get to shake it up a little bit. But from the menu standpoint, it would be our butter burger. The butter burger is just regular hamburger, no big deal. We just put a nice chunk of butter on top, a little soft butter, clamp it down right away, and it just slides down your throat. I've met Paul McCartney a couple of times. I met Bruce Springsteen. Matt Dillon comes in, I see him. My father has seen Jerry Seinfeld, like Sarah Jessica Parker, but the two biggest, like Tom Brokaw, I've served Al Roker. Like I don't get flustered, Even Paul McCartney, I should have, but I met him when I was really young. I met him the first time when I was 8, and he used to come in when my grandfather was here. So he actually came up to me. He goes, "Oh, you Peter?" I was like, yeah. He goes, "Oh, I knew your grandfather very well." Blah blah blah. I'm like, "All right, nice to meet you." Shook his hand. And my dad goes, "You know who that is?" I was like, "Yeah, it's Paul McCartney." He goes, "Do you realize who that is?" I was like, "Yeah." The Beatles, come on.
My father used to tell me, you see that lady over there? I knew her when she was a kid, then she had a kid, and then now she's coming in with her grandchildren. And so and I've seen it also. Not to the extent of my father, so he was here for many more years, but I have no doubt that this will happen to me as well. It gets harder and harder and more expensive to maintain the store as it is, but it's worth it. People, when people just walk in and say, "Oh my God," it's like I'm walking in a time warp. Right away we're off to a good start.
The Lexington Candy Shop has been a staple in this Upper East Side neighborhood since 1925. If you're looking for a great cup of coffee or an excellent milkshake, this is the place to come. We'll see you guys in the studio right after this break.